Jennifer Daugherty was the kindest person you could ever meet. After meeting some people at her local community center, she thought she had found the perfect friend group. That was until her murder. Welcome to Curious True Crime. Before we begin, I'd like to ask that you like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Thank you. Jennifer was a 30-year-old woman who had the mental capacity of a 14-year-old girl. This made it very difficult for her to make friends. Her parents would say that she was as bright as the sun and she cared for absolutely everyone that she met. But again, it did make things difficult for her to make friends her own age. And so when Jennifer came home from the community center and told her parents that she had made 6 new friends, they were absolutely over the moon, as they would be. She's saying that she met 6 great people that want to be friends with her. So how amazing is that in her situation? Like, that would be, I would be so happy for her. Then one day, Jennifer came to her parents and said, "Hey, I'm gonna have a sleepover with my new friends." And her parents were like, "Oh, that's great." So she ended up going to the house of 17-year-old Angela Marinucci, 23-year-old Ricky Smimes, 20-year-old Melvin Knight, and Amber Meidinger, 27-year-old Peggy Miller, and 36-year-old Robert Masters. At first, everything would be fine until it wasn't. Jennifer was said to be smitten with Ricky, and it is said that that is the cause of all of this. You could say a crime of passion. I'm not positive that that was the case, but that was in a lot of the research that I read. Unfortunately, the 6 would begin to beat Jennifer with a towel rack, a crutch, and a vacuum hose. They would then shave her head and put nail polish all over her face, which I have no idea why they did that. I guess just for humiliation purposes, but that part didn't make sense to me at all. Why would you put nail polish all over her face? Eventually they moved on to more extreme things, like they made her consume her own urine and feces, as well as a mixture of, let me see here, a mixture of detergent, vegetable oil, bleach, and sleeping pills. They would also stomp on her chest and kick her in the stomach. Unfortunately, that was not the end. Melvin would then strip, gag, and sexually assault Jennifer. Afterwards, he would take her into the living room where they would rub different salts and spices into her skin and over her head, despite her pleas to stop. Which, I mean, is obviously terrible and disgusting. And I don't understand the whole spices thing either. The salts and spices thing. Oh, it was oatmeal too. They rubbed oatmeal on her and poured it over her head. So this stuff doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand why they did any of this, because obviously because it's heinous and disgusting and terrible, but also just because of what they're doing doesn't make sense to me. It's not normal of what I research, so I'm very confused. So by the end of the night, they knew that they couldn't keep her alive, and they didn't plan to anyway, because the day before they had come up with a plan to unalive her anyway. So they knew they couldn't keep her alive any longer, or at least soon. So they forced Jennifer to write an unaliving note to her parents before cutting her wrists. Melvin then took a knife and stabbed Jennifer in the chest 3 times. I also read in my research that she may have been stabbed in the throat once as well, but I only saw that a few times, so I'm not sure what is true. While Jennifer was still alive, she was wrapped in Christmas lights and strangled with them, and then she was put inside of a trash bin, and she was left at Greensburg-Salem Middle School, where she was found the next day. Obviously, it didn't take police very long to gather what had happened and who had done what they had done. Because, I mean, obviously, that's something I don't understand about this case. They planned the whole thing. Did they think they were going to get away with any of it? Hello? She said she was going to a sleepover with her new friends. That's obviously the 6 of you that she's already told her family about, and then she goes missing. You really did you really think you weren't going to get caught for that? It doesn't make any sense to me. Trial began, and Angela was not allowed to get the death penalty because of her age, but she did get a life sentence without parole. So that's good. Ricky and Melvin were given the death penalty, which was postponed a few times. But Robert only got 30 to 70 years because he was really only involved in the planning and not the actual execution of the unaliving of Jennifer. Amber would get 40 to 80 years, and Peggy got 35 to 74 years. So, I mean, these people are going to be in there for like the rest of their lives, pretty much, essentially. Other than Ricky and Melvin, who got the death penalty, obviously. This entire case was just really sad and just hurt my heart because Jennifer did not deserve what she got at all. She was such a sweet and loving human being that just didn't deserve what happened to her, as is most of these cases. I'm really glad that she did get justice, though, because these people are disgusting and horrible, and this just should have never happened. But that is the story of Jennifer Daugherty. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, stay curious.